It's not too important. What I'm about to tell you, it's extremely important. I'm one of the first people to get a Neuralink implant in my skull. If you guys can see and don't really know what a Neuralink is, it's kind of like an electronic chip from Elon Musk embedded in your skull. At first it was kind of like a Fitbit, kept track of vital signs, stuff that was going on in my body. Eventually it's gotten to a point where I can move a mouse without even touching a computer. I can connect, I can download, I can transfer information. I'm not the only person that has one of these now, and now we can communicate. This is what's going to happen for the rest of the world. Eventually, this technology will be, maybe not in you, your kids, your grandkids. This is what's coming next. Welcome to the year 2025.
Nah, it's gonna be here soon. But I want to say shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Rule Well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in the gospel, brother, from the standard of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just another quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. Speaks for itself. Man said he was one of the first people to get the Neuralink, which neuro goes into brain or mind, and link, which basically connects him to the Internet of Things or the Internet of Bodies via the communication signal, the RFID chip, which is frequently known as under the skin surveillance, which this is the plan and the goal of the elite bankers to microchip their goyim, which goyim is a way of saying cattle. We've been speaking on this for some time in Great Millstone, and brothers put out videos and updates on this prophecy weekly. And the word is getting out there because, you got other Christian groups and, so-called conspiracy theorists that speak on these things, and they seem to understand it, unlike you Israelites out there that seems to turn a blind eye to something which is so obvious. This is quite obvious that this is the new wave, or this is the wave of the next phase in the program, man. Okay, because you got Trump talking about the cryptocurrencies and the Bitcoins, and there was another one as well, which is pretty much the same as like Bitcoin, still dealing with the currency, so to speak, still dealing with the a tender, okay, legal tender being money. Everything is going over to this new digital age, which you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade. You won't be able to own an apartment. You won't be able to own a vehicle, etc. They had a rollout in Greece last week about this identification tracking ordeal. It's like the form of ID, and they give you like a special serial number that identifies you. Now, I don't think it's really biometric as of yet, but to show you that they're getting on board with it, because you have what they call the real ID as well. Okay, which the real ID, there's a lot of speculation about that, about how, real ID, how that you give away certain rights and freedoms. But after 2001, and the NDAA Act 2 was passed, we technically didn't have any rights, and the government has been surveilling us ever since, man. So you really have no privacy. Notice that when you're downloading the apps and, certain things on your phone or your smartwatch, it basically needs your permission in order to get your information. And if you look in the caption, it will tell you identifiers, which is collected. Sometimes it may say phone number and name and information is attached to this, or sometimes it may say your phone number or your identity is not linked to this app. But if you read the blueprint or the fine print, these companies and these corporations are selling your data to the government, man. They had that big breach, I want to say maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago. I think it was last year. And they was talking about over 2 million some social security numbers were leaked. And they were talking about hackers and all this other stuff. But, Esau, I'm pretty sure his hand was all in that to sell your information to these third-party vendors. Because, see, he has to make a security outcry so he can get people on board of accepting it. Because if you use this under the threat of national security, that's a way to scaring the people into accepting this mark, especially when it's going to be tied to food, raiment, shelter, your vehicles. You ain't gonna be able to go to the DMV unless you have that MOTB to get your vehicles registered, you know? So, yeah, man. And, hey, half man, half machine. Dude, like a damn cyborg, man. You know? All right. So, anyway, a couple of precepts, nothing too long. But these are those miracles that Esau was going to do in the sight of the beast. Because if you gave a man back his livelihood by being able to link certain prototypes and formulate certain reasoning outside of what he was deprived to do before, then that's a miracle on the left-hand side, because Esau was trying to play Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. So this is the book of Revelation 19, and I'm going to start at verses 10. And it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not." It reads, "I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy." You see? So prophets testified of Yahushai, man, all the way from Moses to Isaiah, Jeremiah. All right. They testified of Yahushai, man, as the coming Savior. So when we prophesy, ultimately we're in the spirit of Yahushai, because Yahushai himself was a prophet. If you didn't know, now you know. King David was a prophet. Moses was a prophet. The 12, they were prophets, man. And it says here, "For the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy." So you supposed to be prophesying, man, speaking on the things to come, because, hey, it tells us in Ezekiel to warn the people, to give the children of Israel warning from me, you know? Ezekiel 33, and I'm going to start at verses 2. It says, "Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, When I bring a sword upon a land, and if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman, if when he see the word come upon the land," the sword, not the word. It says, "If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he bloweth the trumpet and warn the people." This is our job, to foretell of these things. And this word is getting out because, like I mentioned earlier, you got, what's my man's name? I was just looking at his video. He do more videos damn near than us on our MOTB about this AI shit, because this AI stuff is like really getting out of hand. And I'm seeing how they're going to use it to demonize people, because they got the difference between deep fakes and deep fakes and actual AI. It's scary. You can't tell it apart. But nations conspire. He does pretty good lessons on the mark of the beast, man. You know, and this man is not even an Israelite. He's a heathen, you know. At least I speculate he may be an Edomite. He could be a Jake. I don't know. But regardless of it, he's blowing a trumpet on this prophecy, and you got Israelites out there that don't seem to really care about that. You know, Jake is waxing worse and worse. But it says here, "When he see the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. And whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, taking out warning, and if the sword come and take him away, his blood should be upon his own head." So when you guys get caught with your pants down because you've been scoffing and scorning and coming up against the scriptures, you're going to get caught out there, and your blood will be on your own hand. Because, hey, we're doing videos weekly on this. I want to say a week, you got about 40, 50 videos coming out on the mark, and just from GMS alone, including the apostles, man. Apostle Tahar goes into the mark literally every freaking week. I go into it mainly, you know, I go into it pretty often. You know, brothers go into it. You got these doomsday people, they go into it, you know. But it says the watchman's duty. It reads, it says, "Then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taking out warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood should be upon his own head." So, Nate, you other camps out there, y'all better get on the bandwagon, man. Stop playing. You know, a lot of you guys got that bitter hatred towards the men of the great millstone, to the point you don't want to make yourself look bad by conceding to the prophecy. But, you know, concede to Yahushua, man. Like I mentioned last week, the hell with us. Y'all supposed to be working out y'all salvation and y'all playing games. But and it says here, and he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood should be upon him. But he that taketh warning should deliver his soul. Okay? So we're going to deliver our souls from this. Lord's will, we have the elect, because we understand that the Bible goes into the hour of temptation, which Revelation 3. And I'm going to start at verses 10. And it reads, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which should come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And that's going to be in the form of the microchip. You heard this man say, he said this is the wave of the future. He said your grandkids going to get it. Well, this is immediate, bro. This is literally months away. Lord's will.
Maybe not you, your kids, your grandkids. This is what's coming next. Not too important.
Gonna hear some beep.
What I'm about to tell you, it's extremely important. I'm one of the first people to get a Neuralink implant in my skull. If you guys can see and don't really know what a Neuralink is, it's kind of like an electronic chip from Elon Musk embedded in your skull. At first it was kind of like
the brain chip. The brain chip is supposed to give paraplegics life again, walking, talking, moving, mouses, playing games with their mind. They showed you that in a movie called what's the name of this movie? Came out back in 2018. Upgrade. It was called STEM. It was a device they put in his spine, and his spine gave him like supernatural super soldier abilities. So we speculated they could be putting that in their soldiers too to enhance them, you know. But it says here, Revelation 3 and 10 says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, and them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man may take thy crown. Yeah, because you don't want to concede to this, because ultimately this is going to determine whether you are the elect or not. As the scriptures say, he endured to the end, the same should be saved. It says here, him that overcometh would I make a pillar in the temple of my power, and he should go no more out. And I'll write upon him the name of my power, and the name of the city of my power, which is New Jerusalem, which coming down out of heaven from my power, and I will write upon him my new name. And that name goes into refreshing, like when you hit the refresh button and then everything is new. The Lord said, behold, I make all things new. So his name is going to be published throughout the earth. All right, it's not a new name, but the name Yahweh Shai is not real known among the world, because, you know, Yahweh Shai has been hidden. Okay, and we're bringing him out. We're ushering in the return of Yahweh Shai. You see? One more precept and I end it. Revelation 13. And I'm going to start at verses 14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had the power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by the sword and did live, the Roman Empire. Now, the miracles is going into the form of what we're seeing in the video, you know, him being able to walk again. Also, national security measures. If you don't receive the chip, then we could speculate that you were involved in domestic terrorism. You know, we have a feel that you're an enemy of the state. Why won't you get the chip? So he's going to demonize people that don't get it, you know. Kind of like, was Judge Dredd? Or was it Total Recall? I can't recall, but you know, they put the bounties on you, man, and they hunt you down because you didn't concede to the system. And it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right? So I don't have to go any further. I'm going to end it giving all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will you edify. To the next lesson. Shalom.